everyone, David Hatch here. I'm a business and leadership consultant based in the UK. Thanks for joining me again today and welcome if this is your first visit. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what makes an office environment fun, fulfilling, and ultimately a great place to work. Hi, David here. I'm a business and leadership consultant running a small company in the UK. Thanks for joining me. The office environment can have a really bad reputation of being a kind of soulless and unengaging place to work. Much of that is probably unfair and a result of some popular film or TV media, for example. But it is true that sometimes, or in some offices, people just can't wait to leave for the day. It doesn't have to be that way. As a leader or manager, there is work that you can do to ensure your office-based business can be interesting or even a fun place to be. So in this video today, I'll be discussing what makes work more fulfilling and particularly thinking about office-based companies. It's been nearly 2 years since I was last working full-time in an office, but even now I do find myself succumbing to a bit of nostalgia about some of the fun times and the silliness that we had in our offices over the years. And I've thought about what made those times fun and fulfilling and what made that kind of company a good place to work. And that's something that's played on my mind a few times over the last couple of years, and particularly compared to the more stressful, tense and unpleasant times that happened often in the same offices and companies, but things that I'd rather forget. I think the big question here is what makes an office or a place or even just a company a fun or fulfilling place for people to work? And how can we create those environments as leaders and managers? After much reflection, I really think the answer to this question essentially boils down to 3 things, which I've alliterated nicely as follows: people, purpose, and pranks. People have to come first in many respects for leadership, but for what I'm talking about today, it comes down really to the people that we work with. A great team gels well. They work for each other rather than against, and they play to the strengths of each individual. More often than not, a supportive, engaged group of people will weather almost any storm and even emerge better off afterwards. Secondly, a team that has a clear goal will feel a greater sense of purpose and therefore be more likely to engage with their work. That goal doesn't have to be mutually agreed upon, but it should at least be well understood and properly communicated, which is where you can have an impact as a leader. This idea of purpose can cover any number of perspectives or understandings of different people, including ideas where people believe in what they're doing and it gives them purpose and drive, perhaps for a common good. Or this feeling of empowerment and feeling like they have a say in the direction they're going in themselves or the direction the work's going in. Or even just having a chance to participate in that process and have it feel more like a discussion. And then thirdly, pranks. So what I definitely don't mean here is the dangerous or potentially divisive stuff or bullying or any kind of humiliation. So no water buckets on top of doors, nothing involving shaving cream, and so on. But the silly and harmless things, like coming back from a holiday to find boxes of inventory from the warehouse stacked ceiling high on your desk, or returning from lunch to find that your colleagues have constructed a version 2.0 of you out of empty printer boxes, or maybe just an improvised game of office cricket. The key here is having a bit of fun at work, relaxing with your colleagues and exercising everyone's sense of humour. On a similar vein, a favourite trend for me from a past role was the Friday Sillies. The one I enjoyed most was unquestionably flying the remote-controlled toy helicopter through an obstacle course made out of stationery. But this kind of thing sounds like trivial nonsense, and yes, it probably isn't great for productivity in the short term and in the immediate sense, but it does make a huge difference to the culture of your team, and it can help reduce general stress levels in the office. And if you're the kind of manager that sort of turns your nose up at these sorts of antics, then I'd wager your employees rarely go above and beyond for you either. The overarching theme to all of this, of course, is leadership. Without the effective application of a relaxed, engaging and team-focused leadership style, it is rare for any of these other elements to come together. So what can a leader do to help foster these three linchpins of a great workplace? For the people and teamwork part, a leader's role in this dynamic is something I've spoken about in previous videos, but I do think it's worth repeating that in this context at least, the leader or manager is responsible for creating and protecting the environment that enables this great interaction of people and teams. Sometimes that means rolling your sleeves up and helping out, or organising a team event, or even something simpler like making a big deal about recent success and congratulating the team and making sure they know that you appreciate their efforts. And then sometimes it can mean taking responsibility or accepting blame for a mistake, or even making a tough decision like parting ways with someone who maybe isn't the best fit or who might be disrupting the team. It's really kind of dual function of celebrating those peaks and then managing the troughs, sometimes all at once. Clarity of communication is crucial, and I'm aware that I have mentioned that on several occasions, but it's especially important around the purpose and goals of your organisation. For example, does every person in your company right now know, 1, why it does what it does, 2, what its goals are, 3, what the strategy is to achieve those goals, and 4, how their individual role fits into that big picture? If not, I would strongly recommend you address that at your first opportunity. But I think the number one thing for me is have a sense of humour, particularly about yourself, and don't be afraid of showing it. Leaders who take themselves too seriously will tend to create stuffy, tense working environments where it can be really difficult for anyone to relax or feel like they're not constantly under pressure. Staff who don't feel able to relax or even to work at their own pace will tend to make more mistakes and be less happy at work. It's also important not to sweat the small stuff. If there is an occasional mistake or something doesn't go according to plan, don't let that derail the rest of the team or the whole company. Mistakes happen, especially when there are humans involved. I've said it before and I will no doubt say it again, but your mindset is the first and easiest thing to change. At the end of the day, people will perform better when they enjoy their job and find it a fulfilling place to work. There are many ways to achieve that as a leader, but getting the people, purpose and pranks right is a good guide if you're unsure. That's all from me today. I hope that helped. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, or you can hit the like button on this video, or if you're feeling really ambitious, you could even do both. And I'm always eager to hear from you as well, so help yourself to the comments section and let me know what you thought of the video, what your thoughts are on how to make our offices more engaging places to work. And as always, if you're a new manager and you're interested in learning more about leadership or developing your skills, then I've put a few links in the description below this video where you can learn more about my coaching, mentoring and training programs. I've also just published an ebook which talks about some of my own experiences and what I've learned about leadership over the years. You can find out more about that by visiting leadernotaboss.co.uk. Again, I'll pop a link in the description for you. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. And remember, don't be a boss, be a leader.